Hi everyone, so we decided to research Polyglactin 910 sutures. My name is Elizabeth and
My name is Gabriella.
And we are going to talk to you today about these medical sutures that dissolve over time, leaving a minimal scar. So the history of surgical sutures, the first suture was reported to be used in 1600 BC, and it was made out of an animal gut, and it was only used to suture soldiers' severed tendons, so it wasn't widely used in practice. Over time, you'll see that the first mass-produced sterile suture was made by Johnson & Johnson, and it was made with a cat gut, which also dissolves over time. But then they gave up on the dissolving thing for a little while they started to produce synthetic sutures in 1969. That was when the first proline polypropylene suture was invented. In 1974, we came back to the dissolving sutures when Vicryl sutures mass-produced the first synthetic suture that can be naturally absorbed into the skin. And recently, we're having more success with knotless sutures. This is a suture that has barbs on it that will stay in the skin without a knot, producing more minimal scars than there are now. And going to the future, there'll be laparoscopic suture devices, not requiring the surgeon to no longer tie knots in the sutures. It'll just be done by a machine. So how a suture works, it holds full tensile strength for approximately 2 weeks. So after the surgery is performed and the medical professional puts the sutures in, it will be as strong as a non-absorbable suture for about 2 weeks. And then it begins to break down and absorb into the skin through hydrolysis. And it produces little skin interaction and irritation as it does this, so you won't see your skin reddening or swelling as it's starting to break down. You'll just see the sutures beginning to disappear. They can also be treated with a rapid breakdown serum when placed in fast-healing tissues such as the intestines and the mouth. Here you'll see some electron microscope images of the sutures. The image on the left is a suture at day 1, immediately after being placed into the patient, and then the suture on the right is on day 3, and you'll see that tissue has started to grow around the suture, and the suture will begin to break down and lose integrity over the next 2 or 3 weeks.
So these sutures are made of copolymers that are made of 90% glycolide and 10% L-lactide. The coated sutures, the coating is 50% copolymer of lactide and 50% galactide with a calcium stearate. The calcium stearate is a salt of a calcium and stearic acid. Calcium stearate is a non-toxic acid and non-irritant carboxylate of calcium, and it's one of the most commonly used metallic stearates for industrial and commercial applications. It's produced by reacting stearic acid with calcium oxide. Most of the calcium stearate produced is used in rubber and plastic industries as a lubricant and as an anti-caking in rubber processing. It can also be found in certain food products such as Smarties candies and some vegan options as it mimics an animal product.
You'll see here we have our works cited, and we'd like to thank you for joining us today while we talk about our Polyglactin 910 sutures. And now you know how it works and how it's applied to you if you've ever had a suture done like this.